Short Film Saturday. We're doing it again, another great Saturday full of fun short films. My name is 𝗟𝗟𝗣𝗧𝗏. I'm the Community Growth Manager here at Soleil Space. So let me tell you a little bit about Soleil. Our mission is to achieve a more equitable and representative global media landscape through film, television, and branded content. Our focus is on the global diasporas of Asia, Africa, Latin America, the Caribbean, and the Middle East, with goals of elevating untold stories from these cultures, forming closer transcultural community bonds, and providing opportunities and resources for our creators to produce premium world-class content. We specialize in long-form scripted and documentary film and television branded and short-form digital content, and we aim to uplift underrepresented voices, and there's no better way to do that than with short films. Shorts are often the purest form of artistic expression and often, but not always, executed within the boundaries of a smaller production budget. Since launching Short Film Saturdays in late summer of 2021, we have featured 57 films from 46 filmmakers in 22 countries to date. Wow, that's a lot of films. So let me tell you about our two filmmakers that we're featuring today. Let's up those numbers. First, we have Carlos Gómez Salamanca. His work focuses on painting and audiovisual languages. In his recent works, he reconstructs images and visual archives in order to create animations that explore, from a critical perspective, different social and cultural aspects of his country, Colombia. He was a part of the International Jury in Festival Annecy in 2021, La Habana in 2018, and Animasivo in Mexico City in 2018. Then we have Richard Governor Owusu. Quickly covering grounds on the Ghanaian movie landscape, Richard Governor Owusu is a young, enthusiastic director whose passion for quality content and original stories has given rise to an array of works, including Ebola Escape, Ghana Must Win, Wild Goose Chase, and the all-time comedy movie of the decade, Samloko. His determination to see Ghanaian local movie industry rub shoulders with the best in the West has been his guiding principle for his art. His short film, Nirvana, which we're watching today, is not just a reflection of his desires for the local movie industry, it's an epitome of the ideals and standards of his craft, his genius. So, with a huge round of applause that we can't hear because we're virtual, I would like to introduce you to these two filmmakers. They're going to say a little bit about their films for us now. So I'll toss it over to you, Richard. Can you tell us a little bit about the film we're about to watch today?
Wow, and thank you so much for the opportunity to showcase my film to the global audience. I'm so delighted about that. My film is an amazing film. I won't say much. I would want us to watch. And then when we come back, we're going to have the chit-chat. I made this film with my beautiful creative artists here in Ghana. Shout out to William, John, and all the artists in there. So I can't wait for us to finish watching this film. I'm honored.
Wonderful. And then Carlos, can you tell us a little bit about the film we're going to be watching today?
Hola, pues bueno, mi nombre es Carlos Gómez Salamanca, soy el director del cortometraje Lupus, un documental animado sobre los perros y el desarrollo urbano de las ciudades.
He said his name is Carlos Gómez Salamanca, and he's going to be showing us his film Lupus today, which has to ¿qué fue lo que dijo sobre la película?
Es un documental sobre los perros y el desarrollo urbano.
¿Cuál es esa palabra antes de urbano?
Desarrollo. Development.
Yes. ¿Cómo? Disculpe.
Desarrollo urbano.
Okay. Yeah, so the film is a documentary about dogs and then urban toil.
Fantastic. We are so excited to watch it. So here's what's going to happen today. We are going to watch these two films, but then do not go anywhere because we have our Q&A right afterwards. We're going to talk to these two amazing filmmakers and hear all about their films, all about their great ideas. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, this is YouTube. I got to say it. And with that, let's hop in. Let's watch those films. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. So we just watched two amazing films here on Short Film Saturday. I saw the comments. I know you were enjoying them, and that makes me so happy. So next, you guys know what it is. We need to hear all about these films. We have so many questions. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and ask my, 1,000,004 questions. And then at the very end, we can open up the floor to audience questions. So if you have questions, hold on to them. At the end, I'm going to call for them. And you can go ahead and put them in the comments. And I'll ask a few of your questions. So we're going to start with Lupus, because that's the one we watched first. Carlos, what was it about this true story that made you want to create art about it?
Bueno, bien. Bogotá se encontraba por esos años en un estado, digamos, de abandono a nivel político y social. Y había un proceso de renovación urbana que dejó las calles y muchas avenidas en proceso de construcción. Entonces, en ese estado, digamos, un poco triste de la ciudad, recordé que había visto una noticia sobre estos perros callejeros en un noticiero y empecé a escribir esta historia partiendo un poco del paisaje de la ciudad y de esa idea de lo salvaje de la noticia de los perros que atacaron al vigilante.
Yeah, so he said that at this time, Bogotá in Colombia was going through a lot of different troubles, and they were going through like a lot of, they were doing like a lot of construction, and there was a lot going on at the same time. And then he came across the news story about the dogs that attacked somebody, and he felt like he wanted to speak on that and makes a film about that.
Definitely. Very cool. So then, touching on that, I think some of our viewers may be unfamiliar with the different social issues that came together to create this tragedy. So we have the expansion of Bogotá, we have the 600,000 abandoned dogs in and around the city, we have the carelessness of politicians. There's a lot coming together to create this. So can you tell us a bit about these issues and how they're affecting the people of Bogotá today?
Bien. Efectivamente hay muchos problemas. Bogotá Bogotá es el reflejo de un poco la problemática nacional que se vive en Colombia. Colombia pues, es un país que tuvo una guerra durante décadas. Ahora las cosas están empezando a mejorar, pero específicamente en el tema del cortometraje trata un tema que es del desarrollo urbano, ¿no? Y es que Bogotá realmente no ha crecido de una manera organizada, sino de una manera improvisada. Y estos planes de construcción siempre han tenido unas motivaciones políticas muy fuertes. Y ha habido una presencia como de modelos y renders y todas estas, digamos, imágenes como de una ciudad ideal, pero esa ciudad ideal realmente solo está en las maquetas, ¿no? Entonces nunca se ha hecho realidad. Y yo creo que los perros callejeros son los que reciben un poco la carga de esa desorganización y un poco ese caos social, porque pues digamos que hay mucho abandono de perros en las calles, y aunque recientemente se han mejorado un poco las cifras, pues aún sigue habiendo una gran cantidad de estos animales en las calles, un poco como la última cadena del eslabón social.
Okay, so él dice que en este tiempo Bogotá estaba...
en inglés.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Okay, he said that during this time, Bogotá was going through a lot of problems, and there was kind of like a lot of corruption, and Bogotá kind of reflects that. He said there was also a war in Bogotá regarding that. And right now there's been like a lot of urban development, and Bogotá, he said, has not grown in an organized way. It has grown in an improvised way. And a lot of the construction was political. And that in the media, they portray images of an ideal city, but it's not really an ideal city. And he says that like the stray dogs are kind of like the culmination of all of that. They're kind of like rejected by society. There's a lot of abandonment of those dogs. And that although things have gotten better, that there's still a lot that needs to be improved.
Okay. Wow. That is very interesting. Okay. Before I answer this next question, Carlos, let's have you answer in short segments so that Anthony can translate, and we'll go back and forth like that to make it a little easier, I think. So Lupus takes a rather abstract approach to the retelling of this true event. Why did you choose to tell the story in this way?
Bien, pues yo decidí hacer esta aproximación porque la historia parte de un hecho, digamos, de una noticia, de lo que aquí se denomina crónica roja, que es como una noticia amarillista, pero realmente quise expandir un poco los temas relacionados con este hecho y involucrar diferentes voces, ¿no? Combinar diferentes modelos narrativos. Por ejemplo, el formato noticioso, el formato de las noticias, el formato de los documentales sobre animales, los discursos políticos y la publicidad inmobiliaria. Básicamente se mezclan para que cada persona pueda, digamos, armar este rompecabezas, este puzzle, y sacar como sus propias conclusiones. Y es muy importante para mí dejar como esa libertad de interpretación a las personas.
Yeah. So he said he decided to make this film because he saw the story on the news and he wanted to expand on the subjects, kind of like the urban development and the politicizing of the construction and the construction itself. And he said that he did it in this format because he wanted to involve different voices. For example, he did part of it, he did it in like a news format, like a news format. And then part of it, he did it in a documentary format. And then he also wanted to include political discourses in the film, which you saw. And he kind of wanted to have a mixture of these so that each person can kind of hear different points of views and kind of build their own puzzle and come up with their own conclusions about what happened. And he kind of likes leaving it up open to interpretation so that people can make of it what they think after they see the film.
Very cool. Very cool. So then getting into the media aspect, this is a mixed media piece and it comes together so beautifully. How was it working with the different artists to create this?
Pues, sí, definitivamente una de las cosas, de las mejores cosas de digamos, pasar del trabajo como pintor, yo antes era pintor, del trabajo como pintor al trabajo en la animación, ha sido el trabajo en equipo y especialmente conocer al equipo maravilloso de 𝗖𝗜𝗖𝗛 Films y GPL Films, son dos productoras francesas, digamos, las cuales me ofrecieron todo el apoyo y todas las mejores condiciones para hacer esta película y pues pude trabajar con un equipo experto en stop motion. Yo llevaba un sistema de producción muy particular porque son películas que usan unas técnicas pues, digamos, personales, no son muy comunes, no son industriales, sino son muy artesanales y ellos de alguna manera me ofrecieron todos los recursos y las condiciones para hacer esta película y hacerla realidad.
Yeah, so dice que todo empezó con él, que él antes... Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah, so...
You're too bilingual for us.
Yeah, so he said it all started with himself. He used to be a painter and he also used to work with like technical equipment for like videos. And he said that there was two French production companies. I think one of them he said was called like 𝗥𝗜𝗖𝗛𝗛, and that those companies helped him to get this film produced, and that he was able to work with like a really great stop motion team, as you all saw the stop motion in the film. And he was happy to work to kind of use this medium or this format. And he said it was very technical and he wanted to use it because it's not very common. And yeah, with the French production companies, they offered him a deal so he could make the film.
Very cool. So then were you meeting with the artists, like the stop motion artists, in person and doing it together with them? Or did you just kind of tell them what you needed done and then they did it on their own?
No entiendo, Anthony, ¿me puedes traducir?
Yeah, si usted fue en persona a trabajar con los artistas de stop motion o si fue asincronizado. ¿Cómo fue?
No, yo llegué a Francia a trabajar en el año 2015 directamente. Llegué directamente a dirigir un equipo, los conocí en ese proceso y fue un aprendizaje mutuo, especialmente porque normalmente las producciones de stop motion tienen personajes que son animados y los fondos son estáticos. En esta propuesta es la maqueta, es como el escenario, el que se mueve, digamos, es el protagonista, es la maqueta, la ciudad. Entonces para ellos también fue una nueva aproximación y fue como un aprendizaje mutuo.
Yeah, so he said he got to work with the stop motion artists in person. He went to France in 2015 to work with the stop motion artists. And he said that with stop motion, it normally contains like a lot of different characters and that there is like a really good market for this. So that's kind of why he moved the stop motion.
Very cool. So cool. I love it. Alrighty. So now we are going to toss it over to Richard and ask a few questions about Nirvana. So Richard, can you please tell us what inspired you to tell this story?
All right. Most people within the rural areas understand education in different ways. But some people are so strong because of the cultural belief they have that young kids do not have to go to school. They have to be farmers because they were farmers and their ancestors were farmers. So I was doing a documentary in one village and I realized that they have a school facility with no kids. And a facility without children or students is not a school. So I was quite interested about why the kids are not going to school and realized that they don't believe in education, formal education, because even if you start, you don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, then I can make a film about it. And then the film has like a lot of dimension. Any artist can interpret it in a different, diverse way. So the ending bit, we realized that Nyanu was coming back. So it's a point of call for all Africans who live in the diaspora to come back home and help and restructure the local systems we have here and help promote formal education in Africa.
Wow.
So that's how come I got my inspiration from.
That is amazing. I love that. So then the entire film is in the language Iwe. Please tell me if
right.
Okay, good. Why was this the chosen language? And can you give the audience some information about the language? So we have a very global audience. Not everyone's going to know what language is. So yeah, where it's spoken, who it's spoken by, for example. Can you just give us a bit of context?
Right. The Ewe language is spoken by the Votarians in Ghana. We have our 16 regions. It's one of the regional languages. And I realized personally is underused in our Ghanaian local film industry. And the language is very poetic, it's very powerful. So I felt, okay, we can use it and give it some literature attention to it and make it a beautiful piece and a wonderful presentation for film. So it's one of the languages spoken here in Ghana. And most Ghanaians who speak that language really love this film. They can relate, they can see themselves in there, and it's so fun.
Very nice. Oh, I'm sure that must be so nice to see their language represented in such an amazing short film. So I understand that the main character, the dad, actually handled the snakes in the film with his for real bare hands. Can you tell us the process of working with snakes on set?
Okay, I personally, the beautiful thing is that most of the cast in there, let me say all the cast there, they're professional artists. They haven't even seen camera before. So myself and the team went to the village and then we rigged up our equipment. And then the whole village was like, wow, what kind of beast is this? So we had to train them, groom them, and teach them the technique in acting. We spent like a week with them before we started filming. And the good thing is that the main character also has rails, lots of reptiles. He's fond of snakes. And I said, wow, why don't I put this ecosystem in the film and bring it all to play and tell the world a beautiful story? So he personally have a lot of snakes. I mean, myself, I'm not really friendly with snakes. I may go this way when the snake is here.
That is so, so cool. So that was his pet snake that you had in the film?
Yeah, right. That's the pet.
Wow, it's a big pet. So filmmaking, as I'm sure we all know, is full of perils. And I understand your production was halted by one major event on a canoe. Please tell us that story.
One of the beautiful stories in my filmmaking career, which I will never forget. In the process of filming this production, and myself and my DOP and my art director and the cast were on a small canoe without life jackets. And then we're filming. Before we got in the middle of the lake, the boat capsized. All the gears, the camera, the rig, everything went down. And that was a moment I realized I quit filming. I will venture into something new. Because unfortunately for us, we don't really have a lot of insurance, doesn't really work here. And it costs a lot of money to even insure your equipment before you go on production. So we didn't insure the equipment. So seeing the rig go down in the waters was heartbreaking for all of us at that moment. And so you could even see it. And when the father was hallucinating, the canoe started going down. That was the moment. So we got it on live camera and to the camera fully submerged in the water that it cast. So we said, okay, we'll put it in the film. So it reminds all of us, the crew, anytime we see that was very traumatized and so horrific. That moment, I felt, this was a do and die for me. So it's a beautiful thing to have this experience in the process of making this film.
So was the equipment ruined?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of money was gone. Lots of investment.
Oh, this is a very expensive film then.
Yeah. It cost a lot. We had to even break production for a number of days. And then we're about 400 kilometers away from the city. So we had to wait and rent new gears. And that costed a lot. And we had to finish it because we started and we had to finish.
Yeah. Oy, that is every filmmaker's nightmare. I am so sorry that happened, but at least get a good story out of it.
Right. I think I have to.
No, definitely. Okay, so now I have a few questions for the both of you. Carlos, we'll start with you, and then Richard, you can go ahead and answer the same question as well. Okay. So both films were visually striking. What were some of the visual references or inspirations you each used to give your films their distinct looks? Carlos, you can go ahead and start. You're on mute.
Okay. Las referencias para esta película vienen del mundo de la pintura. Por ejemplo, pintores como 𝗟𝗓 Richter. Y en cuanto al tratamiento documental más analítico, hay un autor que siempre me ha gustado mucho que se llama 𝗟𝗏 𝗟𝗏𝗣𝗨, un documentalista alemán también. Es como las dos referencias que tengo en mente ahora.
Yeah, so he said that the inspiration for the visuals came from the world of painting, and there's like a really famous painter that he was inspired by, and then that the documentary aspect is more like analytical, and that was inspired by another documentary maker named Khaled Farouki.
Very nice, very cool. Why did you decide to go for such a dark look? So it's very dark, a lot of grays, a lot of very crushed blacks. Why did you decide to go for that kind of aesthetic?
Como Anthony.
Yeah, que como el tema, como el look de la película es bien oscura, tiene muchos tonos oscuros, que como por qué fue que decidió incorporar como esos colores oscuros.
Bueno, ese estilo un poco oscuro tiene que ver pues con lo trágico de la historia, por un lado, como digamos que manejé una paleta de unos tonos oscuros y una paleta de colores muy relacionadas con este paisaje de Bogotá que describí antes, que es como una ciudad siempre en constante construcción y hay muchos grises. Usé cemento real para algunas secuencias y también es un poco mi estilo en pintura también. Entonces es una extensión de mi estilo pictórico.
Yeah, so he decided to go with kind of like a dark style, dark hues, just kind of like to accentuate the tragic story behind the film. So for that, he used a darker palette of colors. And then he also used a separate palette to kind of like describe Bogotá, to kind of like bring that to life, all the like the construction that was going on. And he also likes to add like some realism to like the style of the film. And that he also thinks that that the film, the artistic style of the film is an extension of his style of painting.
Very cool. Well, now I have to see your paintings, Carlos. Now I'm intrigued. Very cool. Okay, Richard, go ahead and have your visual references.
Hay una cosa, y el cartel de la película es una pintura.
Okay, I think Carlos wanted to say something.
Oh, Anthony?
I'm sorry, got kind of cut off. ¿Qué fue lo que dijo?
Que el cartel de la película es una pintura, es una de mis pinturas.
Oh, okay. The film, I mean, the picture for the film is a painting. The thumbnail
is one of Carlos's paintings.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Oh, I do like that one. Very nice. I love it. I love that. Okay, go ahead, Richard. How about you?
Okay. Myself and the team took a lot of inspiration from the location. We wanted to tell an African story, and you can take away our beautiful location, the sceneries, all the waterfalls, our beautiful lakes and beaches and all the things. So we wanted to approach the film on a realistic base where we tell the story from that perspective. So we, like as we were in the village, taking the access through the grooming session, we were roaming, traveling 50 kilometers from the town, looking for locations and seeing locations, underused locations to tell the story.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, definitely the locations were a big part of it. So green, so lush, the forest. Awesome.
Right.
So then how did you want audiences to respond to your films, and how did that compare to the real life reactions that you got? Carlos, we'll let you start again.
Ok, pues me parece que las audiencias han respondido de manera muy positiva al cortometraje, porque la historia les plantea retos para tratar de comprender lo que sucedió y las relaciones entre las diferentes capas que tiene la película. Entonces, es una película exigente en algunos casos, no es nada complaciente, y pues las audiencias han respondido muy bien, aun cuando es bastante abstracta la aproximación.
Yeah, so he feels that a lot of audiences have responded positively to the film, and he believes that it's because the story that he tells tries to comprehend the event that happened, and also tries to explain like the social relationships amongst people. And that he said that although the film is not like exactly like pleasant, that it has still received a lot of positive response because of the message that it has.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. That's so awesome. And then specifically, people in Bogotá, how have they responded to the film?
En Bogotá fue un éxito total. Logramos en el estreno, se hizo en la Cinemateca de Bogotá, un sitio emblemático, y logramos algo inusual para un cortometraje en Bogotá, y fue llenar la sala 3 veces. La gente hacía fila afuera, entonces se sintió muy identificada con la historia, porque pues tocar realidades que tocan profundamente a la población.
Yeah, so he said that in Bogotá, the premiere was a total success, and everybody really liked it. And he said that the premiere was very successful, which is unusual for a short film such as this. And he said that they were able to fill the theater 3 times, and that the lines just like they wouldn't end. And he says that he feels a lot of people from Bogotá identified with the story.
That's amazing. That is exactly what I want to hear. I absolutely love that. That is so great. Alrighty, Richard, go ahead. How about you? How was the response, and what did you want the response to be, and then what did it end up being?
I think that people have responded positively to the film. We all saw it even today in the premiere, where people were commenting, and because it carried a lot of human emotions. And once you play with human emotions, people respond. They react positively to the film. And most people in Ghana, perhaps, who understand the situation, react very positive to it. And it did very well at the premiere, and it's carried a lot of awards so far. We've basked a lot of awards, and we are so happy, myself and the entire team. And talking about the technique and the style of the film storytelling, we were able to play with a lot of emotions, a lot of people's mindset. If you don't pay attention, you might miss a lot of details. Because a lot of information, a lot of actions are happening at the same time. And in as much as the language became quite a barrier for easy understanding of the piece, you need to pay attention. Whilst you're reading, there's something happening on the screen, and you need to watch the two side on side. If not, you're missing something. And I love the reaction from all the audience. Even today's audience were so lovely. I'm really appreciate it. It gives me so much confidence in what I want to achieve as a filmmaker and a film director. And I'm so proud and humbled for the reaction I saw today. And so has it been anywhere we see it.
That is so great. And then what about the village that you filmed in? Did they get to watch the film?
They have. You won't believe it. It was a derby. It was an occasion for them, an extraordinary occasion. So we decided to have a free showing for them. So one night, myself and the team went there. We went back, and then we had a very big opening for them. Nice. And it was an amazing. They were so happy to see themselves in there. The few ones who were casted, because it was the first time they've seen something like this and filming in their own residence, and they see themselves in the film. And all these things gives us so much joy as filmmakers. Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. That must have been so much fun. I can only imagine the energy in the room as everyone's watching the film. All right. So with that, I'm opening up the floor to audience questions. You guys can go ahead and submit your questions now. While they are typing those questions, I need to know what is next for each of you. What projects should we be looking forward to? Carlos, you can go ahead and answer first.
Bueno, yo estoy haciendo una experiencia de realidad virtual vinculada a un cortometraje que se llama 𝗥𝗜𝗖𝗛𝗏, que está en distribución actualmente. Y en el estudio, en Nocroma, en nuestro estudio, estamos desarrollando nuestro primer largometraje de animación en coproducción con España.
Yeah, so he said he's currently working on a virtual reality experience, and they're currently working, or they're in the process of getting that distributed. He also said that his studio is developing. ¿Cuál fue la segunda?
Estamos desarrollando nuestro primer largometraje. Es un largometraje de animación que se llama 𝗖𝗔𝗥𝗡𝗏 y es una coproducción colombo-española.
Okay, so they're working on their first a feature-length film, and they're working on that with a Spanish production company from Spain.
Very nice, super exciting. Richard, how about you?
Currently, with myself and the entire team, we just finished a production for the DSTV in Africa, and we are so proud to be part of that project. And we're actually working on another African story like Nirvana, but this is on football, and we are yet to put on funds, get on some executive producers on board. So I'm inviting everyone to come on board. Let's collaborate. Let's invest and make an African piece.
I love it. That is great. So then how can audiences keep up with you? How can they find you now that they know you've got some awesome stuff in the pipeline? Is it through social media, your website? How should they be keeping up with you? Carlos,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Sí, dice que como ahora que sabemos qué es lo nuevo que va a estar sacando, cómo es que quiere que el público lo encuentre. Si no sé si tenga como un website o Instagram.
Sí, en Instagram nos pueden encontrar como 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏 Animation o Carlos Gómez Salamanca.
Yeah, so as you heard, you could find him on Instagram as 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏 Art Animation or Carlos Salamanca.
It's Carlos Gómez Salamanca, your username,
yes.
Right? Okay. So make sure we're following Carlos. And Richard, how about you?
You can find me on Instagram on @𝗟𝗨𝗣𝗨𝗦. And that's on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, 𝗟𝗨𝗣𝗨𝗦.
Awesome. All righty. So now I am seeing we've got a few audience questions that we need to jump into. Our first one is from Mario for Richard. What's the major challenge for Ghanaians in coming back to give back of their success and expertise?
The major challenge for now, probably I would say, is the right connect. So first of all, you need to identify what you really want to invest in, and then you can take it from there. If you get the right connect on grounds, you probably have a right way to connect the right people you want to connect to. So we have a lot of challenges on educational system, hospitality system. You can mention it. We need a lot of help. Even our film industry, we need to tell our stories to the world. We need a lot of help to come in to support us.
Very nice. All righty. And now we have a question for Carlos from Caroline. This was a unique way of storytelling. Why a mix of animation and painting style? How did you find out this combo would work well together?
¿Cómo, Anthony? Disculpa.
Sí, que la forma en que presentó la película fue muy única y dice que por qué fue que mezcló los estilos de animación con estilos de pintar.
Bueno, yo vengo del mundo de la pintura. Yo soy pintor, entonces se ve reflejada un poco pues, en las secuencias que son pintadas estos intereses artísticos, y introduje el elemento de stop motion porque la idea de la maqueta que se va transformando era muy coherente con el tema de la película, que pues es como sobre el desarrollo urbano.
Yeah, so he decided to go with the mix because he himself comes from the world of painting, and he likes sequences that are painted. He likes the artistic value behind it, and he chose to also go with the stop motion because he felt it kind of helped to tell the story and kind of helped to explain what was going on in Bogotá at the time. Kind of like the stop motion was the same way that things were progressing.
Very nice. Very, very cool. So now we have a question from Privy Life, also for Carlos. How was your film accepted by the very people you were calling out, like the corrupt politicians? Did you face any backlash?
¿Cómo, Anthony?
Anthony?
Yeah, que ¿cómo fue tomado la película por la gente que está usted poniendo en la película, como los políticos, la gente así? ¿Cómo tomaron ellos la película?
Bueno, el político fue vicepresidente de la República de Colombia. No sé si conozca la película, realmente no creo que la haya visto,
Okay.
pero la gente sí que lo reconoce, y Y bueno, sí, la gente conectó muchísimo con esta historia en Colombia.
Yeah, so he says that the politician that was in the film, he used to be the vice president of Colombia, and he doesn't think that he has seen it, but that the people who have seen it, the people that they recognize him, and they're able to make the connection with what happened and the film, and they're able to really connect with the film.
Very nice. No, yeah, I didn't expect the president to, but I'm glad the people recognize it and know what's going on though. Very cool. Alrighty. So we have a question from Shreya Mohan. Richard, how was the experience shooting at the river, especially the scene with the snake? How was that played out? So we already know the boat capsized. So other than that, how was it shooting at the river? How did the casting crew enjoy it?
I'll pick it up from the snake portion. The moment I decided I wanted a real life snake on set, my DOP was like, "Hey, are you sure you really want to do this?" I said, "Yes, I want it." my art director said, "Well, I'm not near. This is the time I have to go far away from the set." So we brought a live snake on set, and it was a wonderful experience for me. And even getting the snake move and position itself the right angle was very difficult because none of us could get closer. But my DOP, William, he gathered some courage. He had some courage. So he, with a camera, he was able to move closer. And then I was behind watching the monitor from a distance. So I didn't really have that tension on my neck. But he was okay. He was very confident at that moment. And right after the scene ended, we asked him to back the snake and then leave the set because we don't want any trouble whatsoever.
That's so funny. What kind of snake was it? Was it a venomous snake? Is specifically what I'm curious about.
That was a ball python, the African ball python.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. So the ball python is not venomous, right?
Yeah, they don't. I heard they don't bite. I don't know. I stand to be corrected. I heard they don't, but I will not dare try anything like that.
I think I have to do my research. I'm pretty sure they have fangs, but yeah, I don't think they actively bite. So I think you guys are probably safe. I mean, everyone lived, right? So.
Indeed. And then shooting on the lake too, like I said earlier on, upon the tragic moment, it was a wonderful experience for me. Seeing the horizon like that, capturing the whole scene on a very wide angle shot was so breathtaking for me. And as a filmmaker, as a director, that's all I wanted to see. And I wanted specific shot, and I got it despite the drama and the tragic moment. We were very okay. We're very cool.
Very nice. Alrighty, so we'll take one more audience question. We have one from Caroline. Carlos, what did you want your audience who hasn't seen a lot of media on Bogotá to react to? So anything you want to say to the audience members who's maybe this is the first time they're seeing anything from Bogotá, from Colombia? Is there anything specific that you want them to be paying attention to that you want to say to them?
Yeah, cómo quería que el público reaccionara a su película, el público de Bogotá, cómo quería que ellos reaccionen y qué les quisiera decir a ellos, a ellos que casi no ven mucho contento salir de Bogotá.
Yo quería que el público de Bogotá que veía esta película tuviera reflexiones más allá de la noticia, digamos de la noticia trágica que es la que muestra la película, que tuviera algunas reflexiones sobre la situación de los animales abandonados, sobre esa cara oscura de lo urbano, de las políticas urbanas, y creo que lo logré. Creo que logré que la gente pues, se tomara en serio esas problemáticas, la gente que ve la película. Y bueno, la otra parte no sé cuál es la otra parte.
¿Cómo qué mensaje tendría para la gente de Bogotá?
Bueno, pues mi mensaje es un mensaje de tratar de participar más activamente en las políticas públicas y y tratar de ser conscientes de cómo afecta a los perros esta situación como de abandono, que fuera un poco más consciente y un poco más solidario con estos animales en situación de calle.
Yeah, so he when he released the film, he wanted the audience in Bogotá to watch the film and have reflections, a little bit like kind of past just the news story that's displayed on TV. And he wanted the film to help people reflect over things such as like the problem with the abandoned dogs, all the politicians and all the political construction that's going on in the city. And he feels like he really did reach them because he feels like he helped people to kind of like take these things more seriously. And kind of like a message that he would have for the people of Bogotá would be to try to be more active in politics and be conscious of how everything affects the situation, how the situation affects them.
Very nice. And then, so for our viewers, because it's a very international audience, maybe some of them, this is the first time they're seeing something about Colombia or Bogotá. Do you recommend that they visit Bogotá? It's my tourism question.
Que como tenemos mucha audiencia de muchas diferentes partes del mundo, dice que si usted recomienda que visiten a Colombia.
Por supuesto, Colombia es un país muy bello y tiene todo lo que cualquier país desearía. Tiene 2 océanos, tiene una riqueza natural increíble y la gente de Bogotá, pues, y de Colombia en general es una gente muy agradable y los van a acoger con mucho cariño seguramente.
So yes, he would definitely recommend people visit Colombia. It's a very beautiful country. And he says that it has everything any country could ever need. You have oceans, you have like beautiful scenery of nature. And not only that, but that the people of Colombia are very pleasant to be around. And that's just kind of like the way they carry themselves.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So you heard it here first. Don't worry about the dogs. You still got to visit everyone. You got to go to Colombia. You have to go to Ghana. So I would like to take a moment to thank our wonderful filmmakers, Carlos and Richard, for taking the time to chat with us today. I would like to thank Anthony for being our translator today. And I would like to thank the audience for sticking around, for asking amazing questions, and for just enjoying this short film Saturday. So thank you, everyone. Next week, we are collaborating with Moving Images Middle East. I always swap it. And we are having 2 amazing filmmakers, 𝗖𝗜𝗧𝗥𝗟𝗢𝗦 from Saudi Arabia and Soleil from Sudan. So you have to come back next week and watch these amazing films, another amazing Q&A. You guys know what it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for joining us.